viewers and vampires! Welcome to my channel Me and Places. Why vampires? Because today I will be reviewing I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. This one was written in 1954. This is a classic book in horror genre. If you like horror, you should read this one for sure. This might not be the scariest book I have ever read, but it's for sure not a boring one. And it's for sure one of the best books about vampires that I know. So what is it about? There is a main character, Robert, who is the last survivor after a virus that took lives of people and made them into vampires. Wait, let me read this one for you. The last man on earth is not alone. Ooh. On daytime he goes to hunt and kill vampires, and at nighttime they come hunting for him. Also, if you saw a movie, you will be probably waiting for a dog. The main character in the book doesn't have the dog. The dog appears at some parts of the novel, and the story about the dog is far more heartbreaking and far more emotional for me in the book than in the movie. Also, did I say the ending was awesome? It is. It is. I love this book. It's actually quite short. It's just 160 pages, and the last maybe 30 pages. Oh my gosh, you should read this book just for those last pages. That ending is marvelous. It's legendary, really, it's awesome. I perceive this book to be more about dealing with loneliness than with vampires. Even though that also, there was 3 movies made based on this novel, or at least they say they are based on this novel. But are they really? The one made in 60s, I think, is the one that follows the book storyline the most of them all. But still it has a different ending. Then there was one in 70s, which is just crazy stuff, guys. And then there was the one that probably most of us know, the one made in 2007 with Will Smith. And it's a great movie, I really love it, but it has not much to do with the book. It has same name, I Am Legend, it has same name of the main character, and basically that's it. Nothing much in common. And what surprised me is that the ending of this novel is the best possible one for this story, and none of the movies have it. So you'll just have to read it. Let's go to stories. So, because the novel is just 160 pages, and this book is bigger than that, the other half of it consists of 10 small stories that I also want to talk about. Remember I told you that I Am Legend probably is not the scariest novel I have ever read? Well, these short stories will make it up for you. At least they did for me. I found them really scary and creepy.
And we love creepy.
Or it's just me. These stories cover everything you can imagine in horror genre. Vampires, murder dolls, witchcraft, diseases, viruses, madness, Third World War, house that drives you crazy, vampires again. This guy really knows vampires, and you can't blame him, he's really good in it. So there is 10 of them. I will not tell you about all of the stories, but about some of them. Let me see what was here. Oh my god, this one. The one called Prey is about a murder doll. I mean, that's it, right? If you're into horror, you just have to read it. I personally have a phobia on dolls, and this one was really scary for me, honestly. Then there is one of my favorite ones, which is called Witch War. Yes, Witch War. It's about 7 young witches who are fighting a war with their magical power, the witchcraft. For as short as the story is, you kind of get inside a psychopathic mind who's being all funny and giggling about murdering people. If you can keep people with your mind, you can imagine any possible way of doing that. Yeah, it is creepy.
And we love creepy.
But I must say, I read this story right before I went to sleep. After reading it, I had a dream where I and my best friend, we were witches and we had some evil plans. So this one actually made an impact on me. Another one of my favorites is Dress of Silk. Wait. Dress of White Silk, yes. I think it's the most discussable story. And that is because the ending is not very clear. This story is told by a small girl. Her language is not very good yet, so she's not very clear in delivering a story for you, but she's very good in delivering her emotions about it. That is why this story is something you have to figure out yourself. I'll just say that in my opinion, this is another vampire story. And it looks like there is more than one vampire in this family. One more story starts with a guy who hears a phone ringing at 3 a.m. The problem is it rings in his head. Of course, he goes to a therapist, he tries to find out what's going on, and one day therapist tells him, well, why don't you answer that call? And he does. And what happens then is something for you to discover. The last thing I want to say about Richard Matheson, it seems that he's a king of horrifying and surprising and unexpected endings. So even though I Am Legend is not that scary, but this book altogether with all the stories will give you some creepy moments. All in all, I would give it really 5 stars out of 5, which I did on goodreads.com. Hey, tell me what's the creepiest book you have ever read, by the way. Thank you for watching, stay curious, and bye! There is one more story which starts with the guy who all the time at 3... There is one more story which starts with the guy who hears a ring. Written by Richard Matheson in 1954, which actually makes it a follow-up. So this book was written in 1954. Oops. Ooh.